Hi, Nicole Scott from Netbook News. I noticed that AppUp has gone HTML5. Can you give us more reasons why you've decided to go that way, apart from the ones that you mentioned in your talk? And does that have anything to do with Migo?
You love HTML5 and JavaScript. If anybody runs, so to repeat the question, Peter, it's a leading question. Can you please tell me about HTML5 and JavaScript with Migo? Let me back up and talk about AppUp first. Well, I spawn a thread and figure out what I'm going to say about Migo. The AppUp client that you run today, if you run it on any device, is 100% HTML5 and JavaScript. That means that we can push the same client experience onto any Migo-based or PC-based device running Windows at the same time. It means that when we add things like Facebook integration, which we're planning on adding in the future, all we need is a hole to pour HTML5 and JS into, and then magically we have we have Facebook integration built into the client. We can do that in advance of having to even prop that code down onto the client. Because one of the things that I didn't appreciate when we made this change, my architects were like, oh yeah, we're going to do this like a year ago, is this notion that you can have even a hybrid within the HTML5 JavaScript model that says that the code itself is running inside WebKit on the local device, but you can poke holes in it and leave like a block, right, that you just have marked out in your head from a design perspective, and you can say that's where we're going to add a new tab when we decide to start offering ebooks, right? And you don't even need to have an ebook you don't need to have anything. All you need to know is that at some point there's going to be a tab there. It's going to be the ebook tab, and then lo and behold, when you decide to go into ebooks, you magically get that through the fantastic beauty of just pushing that code from an URL down onto the client. Right? It just slips it up, and now all of a sudden you've got a new tab. From a developer advantage perspective, and clearly as it relates to our investments in Migo and Windows and other operating systems, we clearly want to have a API and services infrastructure, framework, and platform that lets developers do things the same way in multiple places. So we don't have anything specific to say about HTML5 and JS and Migo today, but we clearly have heard feedback from the development community that what they're looking for is the ability to do common and consistent things across multiple operating systems, multiple devices, multiple platforms. And in the case of AppUp, we're already sort of going in that direction with the work we've done for our client, and we'll continue to do that. I will say, by the way, because your follow-up question might be, what about Qt, right? Yeah. Parts of the headless client that are in the Windows version of AppUp today remain Qt, right? That's not any of the user interface pieces. The reason they remain Qt is because it's a great tool to solve some specific cross-platform problems, right? So by no means are we saying that by becoming more web-centric for AppUp, we have to go out and drill out other solutions and shoot them in the head. We found that you can absolutely have a very happy marriage on a Windows PC that is running both .NET as well, right? .NET, Qt, and HTML5, JS, WebKit hosted code. And then you should come to Elements, which is our event at the end of this month, and we'll have full sessions on